Why don't you just have a scroll sign where people could, you could sponsor a message on your freaking shirt?
Here, pocket full of sunshine. Scroll scroll
Would you
down
like
to
to
receive.
sponsor yourself on my shirt? Your positivity message?
Okay, so let's go ahead and
Why
let's
don't
go
you just
ahead.
have a scroll sign where people could,
Oh,
you could sponsor a message
wait
on
a
your
second. Where's
freaking
that? Oh,
shirt?
okay. Here we go.
That's
So
awkward. Okay.
amazing. All right, guys. Becky, how are you? Wait,
I'm
let's
amazing.
get started. Let's
Oh
get
wait, hold
also
on.
do it here too. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us for the full moon in the sign of Libra. Okay. And we are, of course, in the sign of Aries, but today is the full moon. And so we have something really, really special and unique to share with you this evening because the energy that you are going to experience, that we are going to experience, is going to be really felt for the next 6 months. It's a really incredibly powerful and positive full moon. Okay. And I have invited my very, very dear friend, Becky, who works with me to come along for the ride because we're actually in West Palm and we decided to hang out
Palm
and
Beach.
Palm Beach is representing. Welcome. Leela's here. Hi, Leela. Hi, Jason. Hi, Kalina. Hi, Jaden. Welcome. Welcome. Ivan, so good to see you. So, what we're going to talk about tonight is some of the influences that are going to be happening not only today, but really for the rest of the month. The month is jam packed with some really, really cool things that, again, we're so lucky to be here in this time and space and in this day and age to experience some things astrologically that we haven't seen in over 200 years. So I know we all look and we go, oh my God, everything is crazy, everything is nuts out there. But if you look back 200 years ago, we're looking at the French Revolution, we're looking at the Declaration, the establishment of the United States of America, where all of a sudden during those times, what happened is the people began to take control of their lives. Not only of their lives, but they also started to take control over their governments. And they started to say, hey, look, that doesn't work for us anymore. And we know what happened in France. Off with her head, they took over and they said, hey, look, we're going to do this and we're going to do this the way that we want to do it, right? So and many respects, we look around the world and we see these communities of people that are showing up and they're going, upheaval is happening everywhere. But we only see the chaos. And what we're going to kind of illustrate tonight is what we have to look forward to that's underneath the chaos that is actually going to bring us to a wonderful place. Leela says no sound. Huh. Wait. Hmm. How about that? Is that better, Leela? If you guys, if anybody else has sound, just click a thumbs up for me on Instagram. Um, that's interesting. Okay, so
Well, we need something to look forward to in chaos.
we
So
need
I'm really excited because we need
exactly.
that.
We
We need
do.
that.
We do. We need to have something to look forward to, and also what Gary Douglas, founder of Access Consciousness, always says about chaos is that chaos is the source of creation.
Mm.
Okay, so tonight being the full moon in the sign of Libra, you might also acknowledge that it's Ramadan. It's what's the Mexican thing that we've got going on today too, Guillermo?
What?
The Mexican holiday. It's like a
Right now?
yeah,
On the spot.
right? Well, we'll get back to you on that.
Easter.
Easter.
We have Easter too.
Well, we have Ramadan and we also have Passover. Okay.
No, in China.
Oh, in China.
The
Yeah.
Day of the Dead in China.
Oh, it's the Day of the Dead in China. So we've got Day of the
Interesting.
Dead in China, we've got Ramadan, and we have Passover, all happening right now. Now, what's unique about Passover is that Passover always happens on the full moon of Libra, which is always in the sign of Aries. And so what that shows us is that there's a special, unique energy that we can connect really closely because it's the end of a cycle and the beginning of another. So before we begin, I want us all to kind of go back to around September 25th. Okay. September 25th. Do you remember September 25th, or at least like the end of September, and what was happening or what was coming through in your life? Any challenges or any questions, comments, concern, anything that was coming up for you during that time? Anything
Um,
come up?
yeah, I mean, that's like a big time. It was a really good time for me, I think. It was really an
Amazing.
exciting time because I just finished performing with my brother's band in New York
That's right.
at
That
that
was huge
time.
because Becky's a performer and she hadn't performed in a very long time,
It's
right?
crazy long time, like a
Right.
crazy long time.
And it's also what I'd like to also point out is that it's something that you had been asking for. Like you'd been asking the universe,
It was my passion. It
right?
was always my passion that I kind of just, stuffed down and just kind of like put out and like that can't happen. You have responsibilities, you're a different person now. You had to shut the door on that.
Right.
And it really all of a sudden I was given this beautiful opportunity by my brother and his band just to come down and just really just perform and just do me for once, and it was crazy empowering. It was like all of a sudden
Yeah.
all these switches went off and I started to create all this possibility, like, well, what if this doesn't have to be shoved in a box? Like, what
Right.
if I don't have to put this away? What if I can actually, what if now is the perfect time to start unpacking this and bringing this right back out again?
Amazing.
And it was really powerful, and I was going through a lot of like, well, can I do this, can I not do this, is this practical, am I just like riding the high of this performance,
Yeah.
or is there something really really here that's a good possibility for me?
So that's the energy. Is there something here that could be a possibility for me? That is exactly what I want to talk about. For me, actually, as you're sharing a story, I'm remembering where I was. Right around that time, we had an earthquake in Mexico. It was like September 21st. We had an earthquake in Mexico. And I had started to have premonitions about an earthquake, actually. Actually, I kept seeing the Tower card from the tarot, which is a really scary
Yeah.
card. Okay? It's not something you want to come up in your spread. And I kept seeing that, and I knew something huge was coming in my life. I wasn't really sure. Well, sure enough, we had an earthquake on September 21st, I believe, in Mexico. And right after that, I heard this voice say, see, it wasn't that bad. And so the creator was like, this is a new beginning. Okay. And really, it was within the days right after the 25th that I started to reconnect with my students in China and connect with my students in Asia. And that became such a thing that we ended up going to Bali to teach in Asia and to really kick off something completely new and completely fresh. And interestingly enough, we're going to Thailand in 2 weeks. We're going to be in Thailand also working with the same group of individuals in the school. So that's what I want to talk about why what we did then is actually relevant now. Okay. So for example, Becky said that she had started to, don't hide, Becky, that she had started to see, wow, maybe I could actually be doing some more of this that I love. I could be getting out there and sharing. So whatever it was that was going on then, okay, those were the seeds that started to form. Now, because that was the that was the new moon of Libra.
Okay.
Okay, that September 25th, 2022 was the new moon of Libra. Now we have the full moon of Libra, which means a cycle has completed and a new one shall begin. And it's always connected to whatever it was that happened then. So for you, one of the things that we could possibly look forward to is more opportunities like that. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can look forward to new opportunities like that. For example, the school that I'm working with in China, we're going to be doing a lot more projects together this summer. They're going to be, God willing, growing and expanding. So it's whatever it is that was going on for you then, I want you to take note of it now. Make a note of it, because we're going to do something in the reading or in the healing tonight, in the meditation, that's going to kind of amp it up. Okay? So also, many of you may be looking back at that time and saying, that was not such a great time. There were some really, really, really crazy things that were happening, okay? And those crazy things that were happening, I wonder what I could do to actually, let's say, correct them or fix them or move past them. And what we know to be true is that that's what is going to happen now. maybe the last 6 months for you wasn't something that was exciting for you. It wasn't something, maybe you went through a tremendous amount of challenges or chaos. Now you're going to be able to transform that, learn the lessons as to why you went through what you went through, and you're going to have the tools to change and choose something else. Remember, we're all in this space right now, in all of us, everywhere. We're in this space where we are in what we call school. We're in cosmic school. So everything we go through is to learn a lesson, to teach us a lesson, okay? And so the thing is if we don't learn the lesson, it's like, I always call it like the luggage when you go to the airport and you get your luggage and it goes around and you see your luggage and you're like, let me grab it. And then you can't, because you can't get there, and you go, oh, I have to wait for it to come back around. So that is the same as it is with our blessings, right? If you perceive that you missed something or you missed a blessing, it will always come back to you if it's meant for you. And the same with our lessons. Okay, so if we didn't learn the lessons in the last 6 months that we were divinely timed to learn, we're going to learn them now. We're going to actually be able to close the chapter on those so that we can create and open a new door for new possibilities. And that's what I'm really excited about too. So connecting the energy of Passover, according to the ancient Kabbalists, Passover, who were great sages of the Bible. They weren't just, teachers of the Bible or the Torah. They were sages that deconstructed all of the energy in the Bible to show you really what the deeper meaning of things was. They're not just stories there. They're really, really they're lessons. They're tools. And Passover, the story in the Bible is that it's when all the Israelites were slaves, right? So all the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, and they were slaves in Egypt. And then there was the plagues started to happen. There were 10 plagues, and Moses, the 10 plagues were like really, really creating some havoc in Egypt.
Putting it lightly.
Putting it lightly. And so Moses went to the Pharaoh and he said, let my people go. And Moses was like, if you let my people go, maybe the plagues will stop. So sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So the Pharaoh said, fine, go, get out. We've got to finish these plagues. So Moses gathered the Israelites, and the Israelites set off for what we know to be the promised land, right? And what is the promised land? They didn't even know what the promised land was. They just knew, hey, you know what? We got to get out of here. And then they started to take off on their carriages and their horses and their, feet. And they started to run, and they got to the Red Sea, right? And they got to the Red Sea and they were like, what do we do now? And God actually said to Moses, or Moses said to God, Moses was like, God, come on, what joke are you playing with us? What do you want me to do? It's one of my favorite verses in the Torah. God said to Moses, Matitzach alai, which means, why are you crying to me? So God was like, why are you crying to me? Do something about it. And here we have an amazing, amazing secret. Because what are you crying for? What are you complaining for? What are you annoyed or frustrated for? Go. Just go. And everybody's standing around like putting their toes in the water and wondering, I don't understand. Or how deep is it? There was one Israelite, and his name was Nachshon. And Nachshon was an Aries. And what happened is Nachshon went right into the water, just like an Aries. And Aries doesn't think about a plan. It just goes. It goes in. And so Moses stands there watching all of this happen. Nachshon jumps into the water, into the Red Sea. And when he's about to drown, the Red Sea split. And as the Red Sea split, the water went to both sides. We saw the bed. A pathway was created, and all the Israelites went through the Red Sea. And at that point, by that time, the Egyptians had decided, hey, no, we want to go back on this. We want to go back. We want to renege on this. We want the Israelites back. We want our slaves back. And so what happened is the Pharaoh said, no, go get them, go after them. But by the time the Egyptians had gotten there, the Israelites were already crossed. And then the waters came down and flooded them and washed them away. So what do we have to learn? There are a couple of really, really key things that we can learn from this, which tells us about this beautiful energy of the full moon, okay? The full moon in all of its glory and all of its power in the sign of Libra is about freedom. Okay. The Red Sea represents the things in your life that are blocking you, right? The things that you have that are blocking you that you perceive you can't get through. Egypt actually is a metaphor for our ego and our selfishness. And that energy of the selfishness that we have, we actually escaped, got out, and we headed towards the Red Sea. And the Red Sea, being that thing that you think that you cannot overcome, was where we actually learned this valuable tool of rising above our ego. Rising above our ego. Usually, it's our ego that keeps us stuck from making the choices that we know we could. For example, how many times did you say, I would love to be performing again? I would love to be doing this again. And you were like, oh, but I don't know. You know, I haven't trained in a long time. Maybe my voice is a little bit out of practice. All of that is actually ego.
Yeah.
Right? It's you not putting yourself out there. You not putting yourself out there is a space in which your ego said, Becky, forget it, because they're going to make fun of you. They're going to tear you down. They're going to say you're too this, you're too that. And you bought it, right? You bought it as true for you. And so that moment 6 months ago, when you headed for the promised land, let's say within your own life, you went through the Red Sea. The Red Sea was, can I actually get up and perform again?
Yeah.
And you went through it, you tasted the promised land, and now what we're doing here 6 months later is actually beginning to see what you can create now. Okay? So the energy of what you can create now, once you've overcome those aspects of your ego, is something that is absolutely incredible. Junaline, hi, Junie, hi, Ben. Yes, exactly. It's a presumptive reality, right? The presumptive reality is I can't do that. Anytime you say I can't do that, that's a presumptive reality. You've tried to decide what the outcome is going to be, and you haven't given the universe the opportunity to support you and say, you know what? I got your back. You can do it.
You know, it was really, can I say something that's really special about that time that I'm now just realizing was that my big thing that was repeating in my head wasn't really that I was going to be made fun of. It was, there's nothing special about you, right? There's nothing, there's so many voices that are just really like, you know, people that do the runs and like all this like really kind of impressive showy skills. And, I'm always been kind of, you know, not that. I'm more of a rocker, edgier, or I can go different directions in jazz and blues, but just not that. And that kept me locked. Like there's nothing really special about you that like the Red Sea would part for you to have this happen for you.
Yeah.
And what I realized in that moment when I went up there was that, you know what, I might not have the showiest voice, but I freaking owned that stage for that moment.
Of course.
And the energy of just me was what was special.
Right.
And something that only I have.
Yeah.
And there was that recollection, which is kind of like, maybe there is a space for me because this energy is just freaking amazing.
Yeah, of course. And also that energy that you're talking about, is the energy with which everybody in that audience goes, wait, can I do that too? I wonder if I can do that. Or I wonder where in my life I've been holding back, that this person is being so vulnerable and getting up there and doing something that obviously, energetically, whether or not she showed it or not, she probably didn't show it. Energetically, she knew that what she was doing was going to impact others, right? And people there said, wow, I wonder what it is that I have that I could share with the world, that I've been unwilling to share with the world, that if I did share with the world, might actually inspire and change others, okay? That is also the energy that we have with all this Aquarius energy, right? Aquarius energy that we're stepping into now for the next 20 years. The planet Pluto is going to be in Aquarius, and it's going to actually push us to a place in which this is going to become the norm. We're going to be put in situations where we're going to say, you know what else do I have to lose? You know, Aquarius, the energy of Aquarius doesn't really think about the consequences of their actions. They usually just choose something and then they might have a little regrets or rejections or whatever, but it's the energy that they go after it and they do it. Okay?
I'm just making another quick connection. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, but this is like really cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I did this, right?
Yeah.
And then I went off stage, I met all these people, everybody there was like, "Oh, what band do you sing with? Like, where do you perform?" And I'm like, "I don't."
Uh-huh.
And they're like, "What are you
What?
talking about?"
What
I'm
are you
like,
talking about?
I homeschool, I'm a mom, I'm a healer. And they're like, "But where are you doing this music?" And I'm
Right.
like, "I'm not." And like this is not just one or two people. Like these were like about 6 or 7 different people asked me, "What are you doing?" And just now I'm hearing that quote that you said that God said to Moses. It's
Yeah.
like, "Why are you whining to me? Like,
Yeah.
what? Do something."
Yes, exactly.
Like, do something.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting on me?
Yeah.
I set up everything for you. Rolled it all out.
Yeah.
It's time to just do something.
Yeah, choose. So the opportunity for us today is to let go of all those places in our life where we are wanting to run back to Egypt, to want to run back to,
Mhm.
oh God, I'm never going to do that again, right? Even though you did it, you had the experience, it was great. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to do that again. That's where we want to run back to Egypt, right?
Mhm.
And when we actually choose to move forward through the Red Sea, everything is possible. That's the place of miracles. That's where miracles happen. Miracles are not something that are just like out of the blue. They're because you actually create them. There would have been no Red Sea passing if Nachshon would not have jumped into the water and almost drowned. It says in the Zohar that he nearly drowned trying to, with his conviction and his certainty that he was going to cross the sea. And so those are some of the energies we have to look forward to. Again, another one.
He had the do something energy.
Yeah, he did.
Did something.
It's Aries, like I'm horny. I've got my horns on and I'm going for it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
So,
awesome.
There's one other aspect that I want to share with you guys tonight that we have to look forward to. There's 2 more things I want to talk about. Number one, the next one is that there's a little planet, we call it a dwarf planet, which is way, 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 way out there.
Mm.
And the dwarf planet is called Chiron, right? Chiron is this planet we don't really know much about. Astrologers are just starting to learn about it. But what has been revealed is that Chiron, they call it Chiron because Chiron is the wounded warrior, okay? Meaning the one who always he's not a victim. Typically, it's the one that's like, see this scar? I got this scar from this thing that I did and I'm defined by the scar. It's that those places in our life where we have carried the pain and said, I'm showing you that I have this pain, this scar, this wound, and that has made me who I am today.
Yeah, your worth is in your pain.
Your worth is in your pain. We got to cancel that one. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
we got to
that's
cancel
a-
that belief that I'm sure many of us have. And so, sorry.
Chiron.
Chiron has been in the sign of Pisces. Okay.
Good
for
sign to choose to
a
be.
very long time. But look how interesting, right? Because Pisces, I love you so much, but Pisces are the biggest victims in the zodiac. They're the ones who are like, poor me, I don't understand, right? And so interesting that Chiron, the wounded warrior, has been in the planet being a victim for quite some time, actually. Now on Saturday, we're going to witness Chiron moving into the sign of Aries. And so how does Aries handle scars and battle wounds? They say, get over yourself, put a Band-Aid on it. We've got shit to do. Let's go. Okay?
Interesting.
So moving forward with this energy, and it takes some time to kind of like amp it up a little bit. You know what I mean? The amping up of the energy is going to move us forward and stop focusing on the past. The past is behind us. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Nobody gives a shit, okay? It's time to move on because we're in a time and a place where everything is speeding up. And as everything speeds up, that means you have got to go forward. There is no looking back. There is no turning back. There is no, do I have the skills to do this? I wonder what'll happen if I do it. Just do it. That's where we're going. And that's the energy that we have. We're going to start to feel it this week. Now, the last aspect I want to talk about, which is, it's amazing how the universe works. Then, in like 2 weeks, we've got Mercury in retrograde. And usually we go, oh my God, Mercury retrograde. But here's the deal. Mercury is actually in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is the sign that actually slows everything down.
Yeah.
Taurus is like, we've got to think this through. Let me plan this a little bit. Let me sit back, relax, eat a pint of ice cream while I think about it. Okay. So all this amping up of energy, we're going to actually have a little pause. I want us all to actually invite Mercury retrograde in this season, because the invitation of Mercury retrograde now is that we're going to actually be able to slow down and self-reflect on all this stuff. What awareness are you having that you're...
I'm aware. Okay, so I'm thinking, like, you're talking about amped up, and I have this visualization of back in the Olympics when Michael Phelps was about to swim, and he had his headphones on, and he was like listening to music, and he was amping himself up, ready to break a record and like kick some ass and like do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you said that the Taurus is going to be a pause, it's kind of like when the beat drops in a song right before it just boom comes right at you and hits you hard.
Yeah.
That's the beat drop. It's
Totally.
going to be the Mercury retrograde. It's the
100%.
beat dropping right before it starts to just hit you. Like,
yeah.
That's cool.
Exactly. and also I like this analogy, because it's also like he had the headphones on and then he dove into the water, right?
Yeah.
And for him, I think the water was such a place of peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That that was Michael Phelps' version of sitting back and eating Ben and Jerry's. Like, I'm gonna just sail through this, even though his consciousness was like, I'm gonna win this race. There was no doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that you brought Michael Phelps into the story today. That's awesome. So Mercury retrograde is not something to be feared about. We're going to start Mercury retrograde. I think it starts around, I don't have the exact date. The shadow actually begins on Saturday, but the shadow is what comes before it. So it's like probably a week after that.
Saturday? What Saturday?
Actually, Saturday the 8th.
This Saturday.
This Saturday is the shadow, not the actual Mercury retrograde. Actually, Mercury retrograde begins, I remember, on the new moon. The new moon of Taurus is on April 20th this month. So it actually begins there, but the shadow is going to start to emerge this Saturday. So we'll start to feel some of those things. Remember, during Mercury retrograde, it is the time to kind of like do your introspection, go in, really, really look at things and really feel how they are. Okay. Now, for the last several years, we have always had eclipse season happen during the month of May, which meant that usually the moon was in Taurus. No, sorry. The moon was, because it happens on the new moon of Gemini. The moon was in Gemini, and the full moon was in Scorpio, and the new moon was in Gemini. And that's where our eclipses have been, in Gemini and in Scorpio, for like the last 6 years. Now, this year is the last year that they're in the signs. But what we know is that next year, and then for the next 6 years, the eclipses are going to actually move to where we are now. So this time next year, the eclipses will begin right now. So this is really kind of the last time for 6 years that we get to experience this energy of the Libra moon in its capacity. Because when something is eclipsed, it means it's covered or it's hidden.
Right.
And there's two sides to everything, right? Everything has the dark and the light and the this and the that. When something is eclipsed,
the other side's shining.
The other side is shining. Okay. So enjoy this energy, enjoy this moon, enjoy this magic that you have. Do not waste it. Really spend the next, I'd say, 48 hours really in a place of allowance. No beating yourself up, no regrets, no rejection, no resentment. Ask, stay connected. What do I want in my life? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want the next 6 months to be? And as you are in that energy, just enjoy it. Really, just enjoy it, because it's really a lot. It's going to be really amazing. A lot of things are going to start to happen. Well, they are happening, but
and be greedy in your asks.
Be super greedy.
Super greedy.
Because guess what? That's actually not your ego.
That's
It's not your ego. We've been told, oh, you shouldn't ask for that because that's too much, or you're too selfish, or you're too this, or you're too that.
I had this awareness today. I'm like, we came here with the power to create. We came here for an experience, and we have everything within our power to create whatever experience we want.
Right.
Why are we giving ourselves the best freaking experience known to mankind? Why are we trying to give ourselves a small experience?
Right.
Like, why are we thinking bigger and manifesting for bigger and asking for more? If we're gonna do it, we're gonna throw a bash right?
Yeah.
We're going to have a party. We are going to have a party for the ages. We're not just going to have a few friends over for dinner.
That's right.
We are going to have a party, like a foam party. With people are in costumes.
Can we have
Nobody knows who it is.
can we have metaphysical ecstasy?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? Everybody's just with glow sticks, and the music is just, you can't hear anybody else, and all you can do is jump and be in the spirit of bliss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you think when the creator was creating the world, when that energy was creating the world, the creator was like, oh, I'm being selfish right now. No.
No. He was
So-
like, look what I can do. Bam!
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to now do the meditation, the activation meditation for tonight. And before we do that, I just wanted to share with everyone, because I know a lot of people fall off and doze off during the meditation. This is a little hint of something that Becky and I have, actually Becky's been working on. It's all Becky's work, because the astrology has, everybody asks for this. Like in my practice, everybody loves the astrology and whatever. Becky had this idea for us to create a program that is called the Astrology of You,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about Astrology of You?
Yes. The Astrology of You program. I don't know if any of you are like me. I love astrology, but I don't know anything about astrology, right? Like I know what my sun sign is. I know my moon and rising. I don't really know what that means. Like a chart has told me like what it's supposed to mean for me, but I don't know what that means as the moons change and as different things happen with the universe and different energies. I don't know how that affects me as a person.
But I do.
But he does. So when he's saying here, oh, in May, this is like the moon is going to be in this and moon is going to be this, it's like whoosh, right over my head. And I want to know more. I want to learn more so that I can like really be in my power to the fullest,
Yeah.
right? And like if there's something happening, like there's like something shifting within me, that I can use this different energy just based on who I am and when I was born and everything that I am, and use it to work for me. And or it's going to affect me in a way that it might not affect other people. Then I want to know about it. Like I want to be in my fullest.
And what Becky also had the awareness of is that a lot of our students, our community, my clients, a lot of our clients were actually had the same awareness that Becky had.
Yeah.
Right. And so Becky said, we've got to do something about this. So Becky created this Astrology of You program. And what we're going to actually begin to do is we're going to offer for a membership base. You can either subscribe for the month or the year. And during that time, they're going to have three offerings during that time. Right.
Yeah.
So you will have the new moon meditation, the lecture, and then you will have the full moon meditation and the lecture. All of those have been free really for the last 6 months because we wanted to build our community. Everybody loves these things. Everybody tells us how much feedback it is. But then the fun part is that you want to tell them what the gift with purchase if they become a member is? The additional class. So we're going to do an additional class. She's like, wait, there's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah, like we really want to show you guys the potential of like just learning about this stuff, like the power it can have on your life. And so the additional class, what we're going to have is those of you who decide to join us on this journey and sign up for the subscription and come to this additional class, we are going to have your charts, right? We're going to figure out where your sun sign is, what your moon sign is, what your rising sign is. And Daniel over here is going to give you insight on how the energies affect you personally. Right. So this is not just a random thing where you're kind of left guessing. We're going to show you how you personally
are affected. Yeah.
And should be using these energies to work in your favor for the highest. Right.
And in addition to the new moon and the full moon, we're going to have one specialty astrology class a month that is only for members.
Yes.
Okay. So that a special astrology class each month will highlight a different aspect of astrology that will benefit you. So you'll learn about some of the things that you don't read in your horoscope. Like you'll learn what the effect of Mars is. Like, for example, Mars is the governing planet of Aries. But what does that mean? So in the astrology class, the whole thing will be about, okay, what does Mars mean? And how does Mars affect you? And where is Mars in your chart? So you'll actively integrate with the class and say, oh my God, my Mars is in this sign or that sign. And so it's going to be very interactive. It's going to
Yeah.
be extremely personal. The one thing that I don't think I have shared with Becky yet, though, too, is there's one more offering that I want to kind of tease you with. It's not something that is solid. It's one of the things that you can look forward to. Is I actually have an amazing network of astrologers that I work with, that I learn from and I
Mhm.
grow from, and they actually have. When I told them this, they were like, "Well, why don't you? Would you like me to come in and do an evening and talk about something?"
That'd be
So.
fun.
So we're going to also have guest astrologers as well from all over the world, actually, talking about their different benefits or their different highlights. You know, each astrologer, there's something that they resonate with, and so we're going to have that too. And I think we will probably we're really in the process of building the website, which will be on the provocativeintuitive.com. You'll be able to subscribe then. So we're kind of looking to launch that really right after Mercury retrograde. Okay, so after Mercury retrograde, we have like a month. The next new moon will be also just like this in this capacity. You'll be able to experience it and have a taste of it. And then by the summertime, we'll go live with the astrology of you. So,
Can I interject real quick?
yeah.
If you guys have anything that you are really craving from this experience, if this is something that interests you and there's any aspect of it that you're just saying to yourself, you know, like this would be really great if I can learn this, or if I knew about this, or so on and so forth, please leave a comment below this video. I think it's going to be up on YouTube, right, that we're sharing with everybody. Just please leave a comment below of what it is that you're looking for, because
Yeah.
I know this is like my dream class. Like I'm just creating, this is what I want to learn. This is how I want to learn it. Give it to me. Because I don't know anything.
And as Ben said, did you see Ben's comment? Ben says, "Oh my God, you guys are so good together. You should do this more often." This will be the format of the astrology of you.
I will be representing all of you, and Daniel will be
I'm going to represent
representing
the cosmos.
the information that we want to know. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the meditation. Thank you guys for being here and for being a part of this. And let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Okay. So to get ready, what is it? Ask yourself this before we begin. Let's set our intentions. What is it that we would like to receive from this activation meditation tonight? What can we ask for and be willing to receive that could actually potentially change everything in your life? Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Let's close our eyes, find yourself in your heart. And as you do so, just become present. Become present here in this space. See this magic. Feel this magic, this light. And from here, let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And now I would like for you to shift your awareness to this beautiful ball of light in the center of your heart. See this beautiful energy that is the universe itself, contained within the single molecule in your heart. And as you begin to focus your awareness even more on that beautiful ball of light, you see that ball of light growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you focus your attention, you start to see that ball of light become so big, it expands outside of your body. And you see you in that ball of light. And now imagine that ball of light expanding into the room that you're in, through the room that you're in, into the building that you're in, through the building, out into the land, to your neighborhood, and to the city, the town, the state. Expand out to the country that you're in, the bodies of water that surround your continent, and expand out, expand your ball of light further and further and further in every direction. And now imagine other continents and other bodies of water connected to you and one with you. And as you see yourself as one with the entire earth, imagine your ball of light expanding out past earth into outer space. Expand your energy into outer space. Imagine that energy pushing through outer space, through different planets and galaxies in the Milky Way, and expand that energy out even further and further and further. Imagine your energy expanding out past the physical universe, out into different layers of light. And through those different layers of light, through a golden-like light, a jelly-like substance light, and through the jelly-like substance light, through a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. And as you push through the law of compassion, you enter into the seventh plane of all that is, the plane of creation, of oneness, and of complete totality. And here you see the connection of you, the universe, and of all things. And from here in this expanded state, I want you to imagine just expanding out a little bit more and a little bit more, perceiving yourself as one with every atom and molecule in existence. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to offer you what's called downloads. For those of you who are joining for the first time, right now you're in a theta brainwave, okay? And the theta brainwave is the space in which our subconscious mind keeps a record of all of the memories, the past lessons, the beliefs that we have. And what we know is that our beliefs are creating our reality. So in this time and in this space, what we're going to do is we're going to actually shift those beliefs. We're going to pull those beliefs from different spaces, different areas, and from there, we're going to create a different reality for ourselves. And in the framework of this energy, we're going to plant these seeds for the next 6 months and for the year to come. And so in order to receive these downloads, all you have to do is say yes. Okay? So would you like to know what it feels like, what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like, and what it is to have the Creator's definition of freedom, of true freedom? What does true freedom mean? What is true freedom to you? Would you like to know what it feels like to know how to, and that you already are free? Would you like to know how to make the choices that are required for you that will actually free you from the limitations of your ego, from your time and your space? And would you like to know what it feels like to leave the past behind? To recognize that you are a new individual. You are on the path of creating miracles and wonders for yourself. And all you have to do is cross the Red Sea. So what is your Red Sea? Perceive that energy of what that Red Sea is. Remember, the Red Sea is that thing that you feel is impossible in your life. Get it, perceive it. And from this space, allow yourself to begin to push through that Red Sea. So would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like it is to acknowledge that you have within you everything that is required to move through that energy, to part the Red Sea, to create your own miracle in your life? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to have the Creator's definition of what a miracle is, truly, that you know how to, when to, where to, and that it's safe for you to be the miracle maker? Oftentimes, we're just looking to others or to God or to all these other energies to be the miracles in our life, to create the miracles, to do the miracles. But what we know to be true is that we create our miracles. So would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, and is for you to honor the miracle maker that you be? To know how to actually be the source, like Becky's beautiful story, of miracles for others. What if somebody was sitting in your presence, somebody was sitting in your life, maybe somebody that you're very, very close to, who loves you, who supports you, who believes in you? What if that one switch of you activating that energy and that light in your life was the one thing that gave that person permission to create their own miracles? Would you be willing to acknowledge that, amp up that energy, to create that energy, and to be that energy for yourself and the world? If you'd like that, say yes. And would you like to know what it feels like to acknowledge the relationships that you have in your life? And here and now, would you be willing to actually choose to elevate those relationships in your life to the status of creationship? A creationship is when two energies come together in partnership to create greater in this world. What if we elevated every single relationship in our life to that space of creation? So would you like to know that you are worthy of elevating every single relationship in your life to the space of creation? If you'd like that, say yes. And would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, and is for you to acknowledge that you are a source of creation? So when you know what you are creating, what you can contribute to your partner, then it also is a space in which they are invited to contribute and acknowledge what they have to share with the world. Those two forces coming together, there is no lack, there is no separation, and believe it or not, there's no compromise. There doesn't need to be compromise when you're in a space of creation. So would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, and is for you to acknowledge you as the totality of you, and to acknowledge every single person in your life also as the totality of them? So everywhere in your life, you're still trying to fix people. Can we please destroy and uncreate it? And would you like to know what it feels like to release yourself from this energy that you perceive that you have to fix people? If you'd like that, say yes. And now let's talk a little bit about presumptive realities. A presumptive reality is every single place you go, I wonder. You go, what if? Anytime you do a what if, what you're doing is you're creating a presumptive reality. Many of us are creating presumptive realities that have a limited, anytime you do a presumptive reality, you're tapping into a limited reality. You've decided and concluded what something is. So all of the presumptive realities that are locking you into the place that you are now, that are preventing you from choosing greater, from seeing that greater exists, and all the fears, the doubts, the uncertainties that are holding that in place, can we please destroy and uncreate it? And would you like to know that you're worthy of being present? To have the Creator's definition of presence, that you know how to be present, where to be present, that it's safe for you to be present. If you'd like that, say yes. We have a tool in Access Consciousness called living in 10-second increments. If we truly invite the opportunity to live in 10-second increments, the world is ours, because we're constantly in that space of, what can I choose now? What can I choose now? What can I choose now? So would you be willing to activate every single atom and molecule in your being, in your body, in your infinite being, to tap into that space in which you can make constant choices in your life and follow the energy of choice as it creates infinite possibilities for you? So if you'd like those, say yes.
Yes.
And now what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to think about something, to actually ask the universe for something that you would like to receive in your life. What is it? And don't be shy. Is it money? Is it success? Is it love? Is it health? Is it compassion? Is it mercy? Is it all of that? So I want to give you just a minute to be in the space of asking, without any limitation, without any judgment about whether something is too big or too small. Just ask. Beautiful. and anything and everything that doesn't allow you to be, to know, to perceive, to receive that right here, right now, in this second, in this meditation, in this vibration. Can we please destroy and uncreate it? Excellent. So now what I'd like for us to do is just take your palms and rub your palms together faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And now place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Allow that energy to come into your body, into your being, and place your hands on your heart. And congratulate yourself for being here and for showing up. And Becky, thank you.
Fuck
being
yeah,
here.
man.
Fuck yeah, man.
That was like, what?
It was amazing. It was amazing. And it's a contribution of all of you, everything that you've asked for, and your willingness to show up and be present and share that.
I could not stop smiling. Like, I have to say, there's something about going into theta in the expansive way that makes me feel powerful as
Totally.
all. And
Yeah, it's
I
like-
was just pulling in so much.
Yeah.
Felt like I was levitating.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, you are. If you want to ride away with me, I know a fantasy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm and the music didn't stop for life. A little Dua Lipa on this full moon. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you wherever you are, past, present, or future. Those of you who enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, comment, tell everybody, and enjoy it. All right. Hi, Karen Bishko. Hag Sameach. Many blessings to all of you. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful full moon in the sign of Aries, a wonderful, or full moon in the sign of Libra. Libra. Exactly. A happy Passover, happy, what did I say? Ramadan, and all those amazing things. Bye, guys. Have a great day. See you soon. Ciao.